Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube video today. So today we're going to be talking about one of the most influential people in the field of management, a person that has had a significant impact in the field of management and has laid a big block in the studies that are used in the risk management around the world. The person that we're going to be talking about is NASSIM Nicholas Taleb. And with his biography, we see that NASSIM Nicholas Taleb is a Lebanese American essayist who has had a significant contribution on understanding the concept of risk management. We see that with his research on the Black Swan events and the fragile structures during the year 1919, NASSIM worked as an option trader and analyst in his early days, where he made a lot of wealth in supporting customer flow.
Introducing myself, my origin is trader, because a lot of people think I'm a professor, or a lot of people think I'm a writer, so I'll give a little bit of so that's my national origin. I was a trader doing these kind of weird things. And then I got downgraded myself to becoming a pit trader. Those people who, stand in a pit, sweat a lot.
Allow me to talk about NASSIM's contribution in the field of risk management. So we see that NASSIM invented two theories, and that is the Black Swan theory and then the anti-fragile theory in the risk management. And with the Black Swan theory, NASSIM talks about how to handle unexpected events of large magnitude in the future, basing on their consequences and their dominant role in history. For example, the global financial crisis of the year 2008 can be used as an example on how to handle the outbreak of COVID-19 that happened at the end of the year 2019 to the beginning of the year 2020 that crippled the whole world.
I'll tell you what, my discovery, reframing my black swan, is that there's some domain in which tail events play a larger role than others, type 2, type 1 domains. And the second thing is that some exposures that are larger to tail events than others, okay?
The other contribution of NASSIM Taleb is with his other theory, and that is the anti-fragile theory. With this theory, NASSIM believes that we must learn how to make our public and private lives anti-fragile, withstanding the shocks rather than simply allowing vulnerability to randomness and chaos. For example, a person can avoid debts in order to be able to avoid bankruptcy.
You are fragile. You're disproportionately more harmed by a large event than a small event. Let's assume I smash my car against the wall at 50 miles per hour. I'm harmed a lot more than if I smash it 50 times at 1 mile per hour. You agree? Every incremental mile per hour harms me more than the previous one. That's the
NASSIM also talked about artificial intelligence and machines in the risk management. And we see that NASSIM argued that machines and artificial intelligence can help you to identify the risk, but not to capture the risk and fact tales, but rather human wisdom and experience can measure the possibility of the risk.
Machine learning will help you identify the profile of people capable of cheating on their tax return or stuff like that. Machine learning cannot capture things in the class of risks I call fat tails. It will not, cannot. There's something like you cannot invent information.
So you're really valuing the human factor and
some classes
experience.
Of human experience and human.
NASSIM also contributed on the two concepts of management, and that is the risk management versus the risk taking. And we see that NASSIM argued that we cannot study risk management, but rather risk taking, because We cannot separate the income generation technique from the risks associated with them. And the risk associated involved in the business should be considered before a decision is being taken to start up a business operation.
You should study risk taking, not risk management, because you cannot separate the income generating technique from the risks associated with it. They're not separable. It's the same, it's a decision making. And they all should be in a class of decision making on uncertainty. So you should attract more risk takers. And in fact, I see some risk takers, but I'm saying that you have to worry about an industry that's dominated by non-risk takers discussing risks and separating the function from that of risk taking.
Nassim as well introduced us a social experience of how grandmothers understand the risk more than the risk experts. We see that Nassim stated that more than 50% of the psychological papers do not replicate or produce an exact copy of a study. And we see that 99% of what our grandmothers told us still holds. And that is the right, showing that experience is the best teacher in whatever that we do. And good decisions are not made up from models or made up statistics.
You talked about grandmothers getting it right. What do you mean by that, and where are they getting it right?
Let me give you a sobering statistic. More than 50% of psychology papers do not replicate. Okay? I'm sure that more than 99% of what your grandmother told you holds and will hold.
So we need to learn from experience and value
We
it.
learn from collective experience over time, dynamically, not from someone who just looked at a model, did some naive statistics and came up with a conclusion.
In conclusion, we see that NASSIM Nicholas Taleb in the field of management is best known for the creation of his unique theories, namely the black swan theory and the anti-fragile theory, where events that have global consequences, both positive and negative, on humankind can be predicted in a way to find a solution and an alternative for any issue that might arise in the society. Thank you all for listening to my presentation.